Okay, so I'm here with Anthony from Panda Way.
Right.
I'm Will from China Driven, and we are in the all-new G9 today to do the XNGP City experience, to have another go at it. You were asking me just a moment ago.
Yeah, okay, so it's your first time when you're using the XNGP functions, right?
No, so I had a go at XNGP Highway and City on the G6 launch.
All right.
So when it was, kind of really, they kind of launched XNGP City around that time. So we had a go at it. But I've heard that since I drove it back in, I think is like end of June.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people say that there's been some, big improvements.
Oh, really?
In the system, yeah. So I'm interested to see how it, what differences there are from when I first tried it. What about you?
I drove like XNGP for use it. I test drive same as you, like from when the launch G6. And that time we just use it for express road, the highway.
Oh, the highway XNGP, yeah. XNGP is Xpeng's ADAS suite's name, basically, and it used to be Xpilot, and then they kind of relaunched as XNGP, and you can divide it into kind of two categories. You've got the highway, which is your kind of NOA function, similar to Tesla's NOA function, and then you have the city, which is kind of doing the same thing, but obviously it's a little bit more difficult in the city than the highway.
Right.
So yeah, I think we're ready. I think we can go.
Yeah, there we go.
I remember when we did this, I was really impressed because it's able to, in Guangzhou there's a lot of construction, like
That's
everywhere,
true.
right? So like
Yeah,
right now.
Like right now, right.
So it's temporary road remarking, and it seems to handle it okay, right? It seems to be able to follow it nicely.
Yep.
And knows. Yeah, just does it. Actually,
Sorry, my fault.
Okay, so
Because I didn't trust.
this is fine though.
I tried to control the car, so she didn't like it then.
Yeah, but that's how that's how you're meant to use these systems, right? If you don't trust it, you have to take over. But my point was, when we first did this system, it wasn't perfect, but I said I think that it drove better than most people who've never driven in China. If they came to China and had to drive during rush hour in one of these cities, I think they would have equally as hard a time, because the traffic in a Chinese city is...
It's not only about the traffic, It's for example in Guangzhou right now, right? I spent more 15 minutes to come here because I missed two turns.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. It's because I really can't understand clear where I should to turn, because a lot of right, front, little bit left, little bit right. Oh gosh, tell me exactly where to go. And this car with the XNGP, she can do it. Right. Because she'll already know where the final destination. So
sure, yeah.
She will never miss this turn.
Yeah, I mean the Guangzhou's a city really full of gaojia, like the elevated roads, and it can get a bit complicated, like which lane you need to be in, which turn you need to take, and so this will obviously follow the navigation. Or
sometimes you need to do the left U-turn, but it will be from the right line.
Yes, yeah.
So if you don't know the city or the navigation, you can skip your turn. So
yeah.
Or go to the wrong way.
Yeah, it's definitely it's hard really to explain to people who've never been to China or driven in China just how difficult traffic situations can be in a Chinese city, and it's not just cars. Obviously, mopeds are, let's say, a difficulty. Okay, no problem. Are a difficulty because there's a lot of mopeds in Chinese cities. They don't necessarily follow road rules.
Yeah.
So You know, to try to create a system that's going to drive and avoid, you know, random bikes doing random things. This is you know, impressive, right? It's an impressive thing. So with this system, you have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's a bit of a trick. You got to get used to it because if you hold it too much, it will disengage. It's not going to fight you for the wheel, right? So you kind of have to hold it lightly and let it pull the wheel.
Gently.
Yes, because it's you know, some systems, you know, the wheel will really tug and almost fight with you. This system's not like that. So yeah, you have to, gentle touch.
Usually I just pat at him like, I'm here, okay, don't worry.
It also takes a little bit of time to trust the system, right? Until you really let it to do its own thing.
Yeah, for sure. When you use the highway, I trust for the 100%.
So yeah.
Sometimes I catch myself on that. I look at the cell phone too much.
No.
And no, put away, like, and just hide it because it's really not safe.
Don't do that. Yeah,
of course
must.
Not.
100. The problem with these systems is, and I think a danger is the better they get, and the more people get comfortable with them. You know, the more they think that they're, you know, oh, I can do something else, I can look somewhere else, or maybe I can use my phone. No, you need to still, these are all still level 2. They still require eyes on, hands on, full attention to make sure, just if something strange happens and the car does something unexpected, you have to be there to catch it, because you are still liable, right? The driver is still liable at this point. So yeah, but XNGP Highway is super rock solid. Like, it's very, very good. Yeah, so before the camera overheated, I was saying about XNGP, like on the highway, I think it's rock solid. It makes lane changes into gaps which even me driving, I will, you know, double look and think about doing. So it's really impressive, because a lot of NOA functions, there's a lot of good NOA functions now in cars, but some of them, they need so much space in order to do their automatic lane changes. Whereas I found that Xpeng XNGP Highway was able to make those lane changes with half the space that the other systems are doing it with. And it felt very natural the way that it would go into a space. It didn't just like move across into the lane and then speed up. It was definitely moving at a kind of diagonal while speeding up into the empty lane.
That's happening right now. In the city,
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she just turned the signal and made it faster.
Yeah.
I think it's faster than some Chinese driver do.
Yeah. I think it's kind of key, because if these systems are doing things slower than you would do, like it has to perform to a level. It has to perform to a level that you think is acceptable for your way of driving, right?
Right. And for right now, she wants to try to catch the space. So
we'll see what
she wants to change the lane. So let's see.
So she try and change the lane. It's got yellow there to tell us she wants to go there.
Yeah, right.
But there's cars in the way, so we'll see what she will do. Will she slow down to try to get the space, or speed up? Maybe she's going to try again later. But yeah, I mean, if these systems are too slow, then you as a driver, you're not going to use them. They have to be useful to you, right? They have to be able to drive you in a kind of manner and speed that is reasonable, right? It's got to be a reasonable. Otherwise, it's no good if, you know, okay, it could go A to B, but it does it as slowly as someone walking. Nobody's going to use it, right? It's got to drive you there in a normal time. Here we go. So this car's cut in.
Kind of smooth.
Yeah, it did that really well. It wasn't that hard braking at all. Yeah. So I heard that the system now is a little bit more aggressive in its decision making. Like like just now when it did its turn by itself, like when it makes a decision to go, it just will just do it. Oh, there you go. See, like, it's seems much more decisive in what it's doing, and I think that gives you more confidence as well.
That's true.
When we first drove it a few times, you know, it was like, am I going, am I not going?
Okay.
There you go. So it did let the person out, but it did think about going around them, but it quickly made its decision and stuck with it. And I think it has to be decisive, because you need to know what it is planning to do, right? Because otherwise, if you don't know what it's doing, then you're not sure whether you should take over or not. So the more decisive it is in what it's doing, the more confidence you can have that it's doing the right thing, right? So, okay, so a couple of cars are coming here. Okay, so we cut that car off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of sometimes what you have to do in Chinese traffic if you want to get anywhere. Yeah, I think it's handling this. You know, it's not an empty road. Like, there is quite a lot of traffic on the road, and it's handling it fairly well. Like,
you know, and then what I like it, she never give up in the hard situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She never like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm off.
Yeah. She just, I'll try that again later, right?
Yeah,
or I'll wait and I'll do it. Yes. Okay. So we've got some cars now on the left-hand side of us who are going to try and push in. Be interesting to see. Oh no. You let's see what it will do if someone tries to push in, if it will try to cut them out or what. Because this is a very normal thing that happens in China. You can see there's like about 5 cars that just went down and are trying to get in. See, somebody tries to go in front of us. I mean, keeping good distance with the car in front, that's another thing. Some of these systems, especially in slow moving traffic.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
She's a little bit scared.
But she's doing all the right things. She moved over into her lane to try to cut him off. But at the end of the day, I guess have to be safe, right? Can't be too aggressive. But it also wasn't too scared, right? It wasn't just like, okay, I'm not even going to attempt to stop him cutting in. She moved over the lane and tried to speed up a bit, try to close that gap.
And she see that the traffic light will be end us. All right, okay. I want to say that she want to speed up, but
she did, and then
she did, but in the last second,
she changed her mind.
She see like left 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So if I will control the car, I will stop.
Yes.
Or speed up more, but
yeah. So
okay.
I mean, she did apologize. The system apologized for braking hard just then. So I think, like, look, it's not going to be perfect, and these systems, in a lot of respects, still have a long way to go if we're talking about them, just getting into the car in the back and letting them drive you completely. I think there's still quite a way to go in kind of consumer vehicles, but systems like these just show how a few years ago we were just starting to get kind of highway NOA. Right?
Yeah, and it's even a few years ago, it's just level 2, right? Like just line keep assistant.
Yeah,
we don't talk about any autopilot like do it well.
Yes.
And if you want to go from like a Guangzhou to Shenzhen on the autopilot, it's impossible. But now it's possible, and I think the best who is to provide this function it's a Xpeng.
Yeah. So I mean, Xpeng built a lot of their reputation on their ADAS capability, right? It's a key component. Their kind of unique selling point to their customers is that they are, front runners in consumer ADAS in their vehicles, and I do think that they are the people to beat in terms of consumer vehicles, and they have been for quite a long time, right? And the interesting thing is everybody else now seems to be throwing their hat in, and everybody's talking about providing these functions. So I think like next year is going to be really interesting, because there'll be a lot of different manufacturers trying to achieve these kinds of levels of autopilot in a city. But Xpeng isn't slowing down. They're only speeding up. Yeah, they're only speeding up in their application to provide more functions, to refine the functions. Okay, so it's giving you like a a zoomed in view of what's going on because it's getting very tight.
The driver is behind me is so nervous.
Yes.
安全第一，先让一下。
Okay, now you can do it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. So even though others are coming in, Xpeng isn't slowing down. It's only speeding up its development of this system. And I still think it's the one to beat.
For my opinion, is maybe for right now, they are leaders on the market.
Yes.
Maybe just one company very, very close to the Xpeng. It's on the Harmony OS cars.
Yeah. So you have Huawei's also. I mean, everybody is now talking about that. This is they're all pushing for this, and I think in 2024 we're going to see a lot of competition around city ADAS. But Xpeng is definitely in front. And like I said, I don't think they're looking at all to kind of rest. They're just going to keep going. I know that the ideal situation is obviously to get the XNGP Highway and XNGP City to completely merge together, right? So at the moment, because we have to go through in China there are toll gates, so we have to go through the toll gates, right? So there's some difficulty in how you're going to approach going through the toll gates to basically make this a seamless transition from highway to city, from city to highway, and then you would truly be able to go door to door, right? And that's the goal, right? Well, even car parking space to car parking space, right?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Right, yeah. Because they also have is AVP. They're kind of the one where you can basically train it to where your car parking space is, and then it can drive into the car parking lot by itself and go find its car parking space and park by itself. Even if it's on different levels, like you can understand it needs to go down level or upper level. But yeah, being able to combine all of these things into just one seamless.
That's what I'm dreaming.
Yes, so that's
just once upon a time, I just wake up, send a message to the car, please pick me up after 15 minutes near the gate. That's all. I don't care to go and find where the car.
Yeah, I think, I mean the fact that we're working towards this idea of cars becoming more and more autonomous in their functions. I think it's just, it's really starting to live in the future. Feels that way, right?
Right. So I would like to say this. She did well, actually. So if you're quite busy, you have to speak by your phone. Maybe you can't control well the road. Right, and with XNGP, it's really helped. Yeah,
so that's the other thing, right? These systems have to be useful to be able to assist you. If they're cumbersome, if they are indecisive, then you feel you need to monitor it so much. Then actually it's more tiring than just driving yourself, right?
Right.
So that's definitely a kind of key point whether an ADAS system is a good ADAS system or not. If you feel yourself kind of stressed out because you're like kind of really focused on what's going on the road, then this system is not assisting you, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's doing really, really well. It's dealing with traffic, merging, changing lanes. And this is not, just some easy route on the outskirt of a city. We're going to go into...
We're almost in the downtown. Actually.
Yes, yeah. So
the most traffic's light, yeah. You know what? I would like to say that if my wife will drive this car, she will be totally happy. Because she's too nervous during a lot of cars around her.
Yeah.
She get used to drive the car in the small villages, cities, so not like that.
It could definitely be overwhelming driving in these cities, right? If you're not used to it, because you're kind of jockeying for position, everyone's kind of fighting, changing lanes. So if you are indecisive on the road in China, people are just going to cut in, and that's actually more dangerous, I think. You know, driving slowly and being overly defensive invites people to drive a certain way around you, right? And that's why this system definitely now, I think, is more, I want to say aggressive, but aggressive not the right word.
I think it's aggressive.
Yeah, well, confident, right? It's confident, it's decisive, right? So I think that's a better way that it has to be. But it's not overly aggressive, right? We have seen that it will try to position itself and close a gap to try to prevent someone from pushing in. But if that person is really set on trying to push in, then it won't fight it for that position. And I'm okay with that, right? That's kind of the level I want it to be at. I wanted to not just easily give up and be like, oh, everybody and the world come in, but at the same time, I don't want it to be like, you know, fighting tooth and nail with every car. Right? So.
You know what? I want to see the competition between the NGP and the real driver. Like, for example, if you go from A to B point, and who's going faster?
Yeah, well, I mean,
how many minutes you will win or lose?
Yeah, you won't. Not many. I mean,
like if I just be more feel comfortable, relaxable, and maybe just join my ride on the car, right? And I lose 5 minutes only. Oh, it's a big step forward.
Yeah, sure. Like there's you know, you can play the game of weaving in and out of traffic during the rush hour, but you get to the other end and you're so stressed because you know. Is it worth, like you say, the 5 minutes that you gain? The answer is probably no. And also the risk that you run of having an accident as well. Right. So I think your idea of a race, I think, would be even more interesting if you brought somebody who'd never driven in China and asked them to drive across.
Oh my! Right. Yeah.
Because I think that they would spend, you know,
if you don't have experience driving in China. Yeah,
you're gonna spend a lot of time with a lot of people just coming in front of you. You're not gonna get anywhere.
And you know, the final results will be how joying you're right in the when you're in the point of B, like
crying because you can't take how, you know, crazy the traffic is.
I can imagine that the man all sweat because he's too nervous driving.
Yes, it's definitely. It's definitely something to think about. Now, I will say that, you know, Europeans will probably complain because the system is talking, you know, fairly often. But the thing is, like, this is part of the safety. Like, it's alerting you, saying, like, be careful, you know, because it's aware that it's driving really closely to other cars. So it's reminding you to make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on. Because, you know, now there's something very close to you, so you need to double check what the system is doing. Because it's like you were saying before, like, so it can, when the system is doing very well, it's very easy to almost kind of forget that you are meant to be looking at it, right, and monitoring it, right. And
even with the level 2, some people to trust car.
Yes, yes.
And unfortunately, I think you also, like me, you can see a lot of people, Chinese driver, who just drive a car like that.
Yes, on the phone. Yes, it is a problem in China a lot. It's also why sometimes traffic lights don't move very fast because everybody's you know,
they play the cell phone.
Yeah, get to traffic light, stop, cell phone out, like TikTok. You know, light goes green, they're still looking at what's their phone, right? But I you know, you see silly videos of people doing silly things with ADAS systems. And the thing is, you know, if you drive this car 99 times it never makes a mistake, it doesn't mean on the 100th time it's not going to make a mistake. You can drive it 1,000 times.
That's true.
You just never know. That's why you just have to always be ready to take over. You've got to be, you know, focused on what's going on. Because, as I said before, you're still liable as a driver. You're still the one in control of the vehicle, right? So, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure that you're not going to hit anything, and the system's not going to hit anything, right? So yeah, so this is the first time that you've actually used XNGP City, right?
City, right? With this like tough traffic.
I don't know. It's trying to change lane, but I think it's going to stop in a moment.
Now she understands that she cannot cross the line. Like a 2 second, 1 second, and stop, please. Oh gosh, what are you doing?
Okay, overshot that a bit, but it did stop a little bit over the line.
Yeah, this is very interesting because she see that the 1 second left only. So she have to understand. Okay, I don't have a time, so just slow down and wait.
Right. Because it's in that situation. In that situation, it needs to be a little bit more decisive. Like, am I going to speed up and go through the light?
Yeah.
Am I going to slow down and stop? Right.
Right.
But I mean, these are things that no doubt will get better with time and updates. And already from my just sitting here in the passenger seat from when I last drove it, like it's definitely changing the lanes and sorting itself out on the road is much better than before, right? Last time
Much better.
Much
Even
better.
2 months ago, I can't imagine that the car will see the red light traffic and stop.
Yeah. So, but that changing lane, the way it's changing lane.
Yeah.
Before, sometimes it would change lane, or a car would be pulling out in front of it. It would act like a learner driver, very kind of timid and very defensive. But that doesn't fill you with confidence as the driver, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Like, oh gosh.
So I do like the fact as well when you're going slowly and something comes close to you, there gives you this, it switches the visualization to the bird's eye view, and it looks really quite accurate. It's been a couple of months since I've used it, so it'll be interesting to see. No, I can't let it do
You
that.
didn't trust that?
No, I didn't trust it. No, I stopped it. Yeah, but it's been a couple of months, so it'll be interesting to see how it now performs compared to the last time I was in it, and how I feel about it.
I see the difference between me and you. I'm more trusted than you.
Yes, yeah.
Because I get used to, like driving with the NGP system.
Yeah. It'll take me a couple of minutes, I guess, until I'm okay with it. I think that's perfectly fine, and I think that's the way that you need to be when you get into these systems. And obviously, because we're driving, both of us driving a lot of Chinese EVs and cars, and testing different systems. Every different systems have their own, quirks or different ways of doing things. But I mean, if you have this system in your car, then I would guess that you become very comfortable with it, and it would be very easy to let it do what it needs to do. Okay. What's it thinking about? Yeah, it's obviously still, I would say, overcautious when people are involved, which I think it must be, right? It must be.
NGP 已开启
Must be more cautious around people. Okay, off we go. Yeah, it just looks, all the roads here split constantly, like so many different routes. So if you take a wrong turn in Guangzhou, it could be, a few blocks that you need to go until you can get back to where you need to be.
Yeah, and you can lose easily 30 minutes.
Right, yeah. So this is very useful if you don't live in Guangzhou.
Yeah. I have a question about the NGP. When I driving on the highway, can I use or set this function? I use in the middle, drive in the middle.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Later you will show me. Okay, where is it? Because I'm a little bit scared when she always try to drive in the left side.
Oh, when a truck's going past?
Yeah, trucks and she choose the left, always left. But I prefer to be in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The other thing is though, like for City NGP, you'll see that it won't pick the very right-hand lane that much because in China, like a lot of people tend to park in that lane, right? So it's just not a good lane to travel in because you'll be forever having to come in and out of it, in and out of it. Okay, so we're approaching a roundabout, but it's a roundabout with lights on it. So, driven the G9 before?
Yup.
Did you like it?
Like it. I definitely like it, but I didn't drink like you in the mountain. Just in the city and the highway.
Yeah, no, it's quite good. Like, I mean, it's a big SUV, right? So you know, when you talk about like the way it drives and handling, you have to take into account that you're not talking about a little sports car, obviously. But I mean, it's pretty fun as far as SUVs go to drive.
Yeah, but if you bought it a dual motor, I feel like I really drive the sport car.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's super. 3.9 seconds or. Yeah.
Yeah, for somebody it's like, oh, for just a 3.9.
Yeah, this is kind of
Come
crazy.
on, give me less than 1 second.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy nowadays that the kind of standard for all-wheel drive is now 3.9 seconds for an SUV and 3.8 or less for a sedan.
Yeah, for
right?
SUV. Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy because those numbers, you know, there were supercar numbers not that long ago, right? So. Yeah. Speed is easy now in EVs, but I still think for most Chinese consumers, their main focus is on what technology the cars bring and the comfort that the car can bring to them. So this is like, I think
they like the technology. They like interior, mostly interior. For exterior, I don't think they pay too much attention about the Chinese customer, but interior they always pay attention.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because the interior is where you spend the time,
right?
So, wait, that was no problem for it, but yeah, I mean that's where you know, this is what you look at. You know, 99% of the time that you're using the car, right? So yeah, so the interior has to be a nice place to be. And the ride needs to be comfortable in China. A lot of the roads can be not very good, especially in some smaller cities or in areas where there's lots of construction because the trucks will just kind of destroy the road. So you want a comfortable ride. And I think that, ride and technology, interior is definitely more important for Chinese consumers when they're looking for a car. I'm glad that they've tweaked this, and I'm seeing more of these on the road because after I reviewed it, and I was really impressed because I thought it was like the next level up from what Xpeng had made before. You know, definitely a lot more the G9 a lot more premium than the P7, for example. The material quality is just a huge step up from that car, right? You know, so they were calling this like a flagship, but it really is. Like lots of just small things in here makes it a very nice vehicle. But I do like this design in Fibonacci.
They pay small attention to the design.
Yes,
and that's why when you sit in this car, you feel really that this car is luxury.
Yes.
请注意观察。 已退出至手动
I
驾
take
驶。
over. I take over. Am I going down? No, I'm not. I'm going around. Okay. No, we're going around. I don't even know where we're going. Like, I'm not. So, here we go. So maybe it was going to turn. I don't know, but it was.
进入直道后，再试试激活。
That's the Contiao. Oh no, I'm not in. Am I on? There we
NGP 已
go.
开启。
Yes. So, have I accidentally pressed something and I've turned the AC? No wonder I'm starting to feel a bit hot. By accident, I've pressed something and I've turned the AC up to like 27 degrees. Is it
It's
on?
winter time, a
Yeah.
little bit heat.
Okay. But I mean, it handles this, and it handles it at, you know, a normal road speed you would expect it to do so
Yeah.
if I was driving. Okay.
I'm still waiting when they realize the English in China.
For?
For
准备向
for
左
the
变道。
system.
Oh, for like the voice
English,
assistant?
voice assistant, language.
Oh, pack.
Just
right.
give me at least English, please.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I
hopefully
can
it will
speak
come.
Chinese. I can like get used to press some icon and see it. But when I always sit in my car with the English language, I feel more comfortable.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you get used to it, but of course, it's much more
Yeah.
comfortable if you know, in a language that you understand better. Especially if you're trying to get
请
things
保
while
持关注路况。
you're you know, driving. Okay, we're going out. I think we're going out, right? And again, yeah. Okay,
准备向左变道。
and again, yeah.
That's good,
准
really
备
good,
向左
really
变
good.
道。
Very, and again. I mean, that's 3 in a row, just perfectly done with no input from me. Like,
Because she know more than you. She
Yes.
know that these lines go faster.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to need to change the lines.
it's not even that, because like you can see the roads keep splitting
Yeah.
and get divided, and then suddenly you're in the wrong lane and you're going, you know, somewhere else.
安全第一，先让一下。
All right. So, you know, it tried change. Somebody came like fast up the
Yeah.
outside, and it went back. It will try again, I'm sure. No, we're okay in this
准
lane
备
now.
向
Okay.
左变道。
No, still wants to go. So it's nice that, yeah, like you said, doesn't give up. Still waiting to
Yeah.
see the, you know, the opportunity for it to go again. Yeah, it's definitely more confident than last time that I was driving it. Its decision to change a lane and go quickly, it's definitely gives a better experience, and I feel better behind the wheel because I know what it's doing. Right?
It looks like she study how to drive in like in Chinese road.
Right, that's the other thing, right? Yeah, it's got to be. You've got to take into account. Sure, the rules in China. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You've got to know the road rules. But you've also got to know like the habits of Chinese drivers and the traffic, like driving culture, in order to, you know, get a system that's going to be able to handle that, right? Because if it's
Right.
too rigid,
Right?
then it's never going to work, right? Because you'll never go anywhere. Or
Yeah.
so I think this is, yeah, definitely improving.
Yeah, for me it's definitely better the braking system, like how she brake now.
Yes.
When somebody cut off you, she more gentle than previous one.
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it will slam on the brake, but it's maybe in a position where
My
you would
last
do the same.
experience in the city, it looked like she just hit the brake, like stop, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Now it's not the same.
Right. Right. It's more gentle when it can be. Right. Yeah.
She see the man, right?
Yes. Motorcycle, yeah. So you are using the XNGP highway every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Oh, well, if I go to every day to somewhere,
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to say day by day. Sometimes I use
请保持关注路
ID6,
况。
just level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to say that the handle now it's hold more strict. than previous XNGP.
Okay.
Because mine is what I use it. You feel the handle go left, right, left, right, left.
Oh,
right.
you're talking about like micro? Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Let's
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, much less just
Yes.
constant adjusting of the wheel.
Right.
Yeah, because that doesn't fill you with confidence either. If it's going down the road and it has to keep right.
准备向左变道。
Yeah. Yeah, a lot less small adjustments being made, and there you go. Like makes a decision, and speeds up as it's changing the lane, right? Not just slowly go across.
Even some Chinese drivers don't do like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They slow down,
Like this guy right in
change
front of
the
us.
line,
Yeah.
and then speed up. No, should do it really well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good because I'm in no way familiar with Guangzhou. I also feel it's more relaxed on hand positioning as well than before. I remember before I have to be much more
more pressure like on the wheel.
Yeah, whereas now it will allow to be a little bit.
Yeah, you do like
more
me. You
relaxed.
just pat it a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Like. Did you cross your leg or?
No. No, that's too much. But my feet are on the floor, right? I'm
Okay.
sitting here with my feet on the floor. I'm not hovering. Well, maybe I should be really. I should be hovering to be ready. But
I catch myself that when I driven like the highway,
you
I just cross it.
you just
Like see,
just
like relax it.
like you're on just sitting at home on the sofa, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't feel tired. I don't feel tired. Like when we go to exhibition, we drive another car.
Okay.
I feel tired.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is the point for what we need a XNGP system.
Right. Exactly. If you get out feeling more tired,
Yeah.
like I said, if you get out feeling more tired after you use your ADAS system, then it's
Yeah.
not really helping you, is it?
Yeah.
It's just.
I remember that time when I drove my Lexus, 2 hours, 1.5. I feel really tired
Right. Especially if
because
you're
I
on the
have to
motorway.
control all things what's happening.
Yeah. Especially if you're on the motorway, because
Yeah.
motorway driving is so boring.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, counting sheep. Like you just feel like you want to go to sleep, right? So I think, a good NOA like XNGP on the highway is just so useful. Just makes it so much easier to travel long distances. So we're not that far away now from getting back, and I would say that this is massively improved from last time when
即将
I
退出 NGP，
Totally
Okay.
agree.
so it could,
正在绕行。
okay, so it's going to keep talking at the moment. But this is, so much better than when I drove it a couple of months ago in the G6, and surprising because it's not like a huge change has been made in the idea that like I can say, oh, this is completely. It's just the way that it deals with a situation, its decision making. It's just so much
即将右
more
转，
natural, right? And
请提前
how
接
I
管
would like it
即将驶
to
离
drive.
NGP 可用区域。
Thank you for talking over me. So it's telling me now in 200 meters it's going to turn off, right? Because we're going to be at our destination. But yeah, massively improved decision making and the way it makes those lane changes. And is it perfect? No. Like, and I think that it would be unfair if anyone said, it's
已将
perfect
极致
system.
ACC
All right, thank
NGP
you.
已开启，
Right, we are off now from NGP because we are at our
已退出
location.
至手动驾驶。
So yeah, like I was saying, like it would be unfair if you were to claim that it's 100% perfect, because it's not, and no one should expect it to be, right? This is, if you like, something that's continually being worked on to make it better and better over time. And let's say in 2 months, the difference is for me is very noticeable, right? And it's become far more natural or more confident and confidence inspiring in me as the driver of what it's doing. I mean, I can't believe we just drove literally for what, 2 hours?
2 hours.
Right, so, and you know, what percentage of that time, if we drove 2% of that time, that would, I think that's even maybe quite a lot. I don't think even 2% of that time we were driving ourselves. So you have to say that it does incredibly well.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a fun drive.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nice to see you again. And yeah, this has been XNGP.